Welcome to report 64 of the Crawl or No Call report. This is Carolyn Holzman. Today is April 19th and the Semrush Volatility Sensor is reading at 8.0 and that is very high red ink territory. Now all of the data that you're seeing here, this project is being made public and you can find it. It's the Indexation Research Project. Today is day 236 of the project. Now there's a link in the description, but you can also search for this for Google Index Detector. I've been sharing all this data publicly. Now today is a test day. So here we are on the 20th. And the test page was published at 7:31 a.m. and pretty much simultaneously requested, and the Google bot arrived and pulled the robots.txt file first, and then it came back 40 seconds later and pulled the HTML. So right now we have 3 pages that are currently are not indexed. Okay. Now, those 3 pages have been published subsequent to the Search Console coverage update that we had on April 17th, but it updates to a previous date, so it only updated to the 15th. And we now have a very high volatility reading on the SEO weather tools. Now, based on previous data, this typically ends up with a late night, early morning Search Console update. So this is what these little gray things are there. So somewhere in between the end of day today, beginning of tomorrow, I believe there'll be a coverage update. And I also think that any pages published between the 15th, I'm assuming like it may update it to the 19th, right? So I'm assuming that any pages published between the 15th and the 19th, then after we go through this coverage update, only then will they show as indexed by their keywords, which means 2 out of the 3 published pages that are still not indexed yet. So today's published page may not be in that group, but it's not unheard of if they update to the 20th, then it probably will. So this has my mind working on a theory, and I definitely want to pull this data apart and take a look. I'll be doing a webinar next week, the week of the 25th, a few more things to work out, but I'll mention it here. And as I mentioned yesterday, here's what I'm pondering. I have a strong sense that the Search Console provides more of a peek into Google's supplemental index than we currently appreciate. I'm not completely sold that this is an update yet, although something was reported in SE Roundtable on the 18th. So here's one of my questions. Will the test page published on the 15th show in the index before Google updates the Search Console again? So far it hasn't, so that's why I think it's going to happen after the update. So now to the bots. Only one of the 2 desktop bots for Google showed up. It was the one that crawls the directives. The one that does render crawls did not. Mobile 15. And I also checked to see if there was any absence of bots in the last 24 hours. And I found it between 2 a.m. and 7:32 a.m. this morning, which is kind of interesting because I published at 7:31. There were 16 feed fetcher bots. And then when we go into Bing, there were 60 records, Bing bot records. They were all desktop. And I saw the 3 different Bing IPs working so far. But today I did see a strong division of labor. One crawled directives, one was render crawling, and one did both. One Bing preview and no DuckDuckGo favicon bots. All right, that's it for today. Please subscribe. This week's Confessions is Expectations Managed. There's no accounting for the amount of or the nature of unspoken expectations when it comes to SEO clients. And I suspect there's a major contributing factor. Find out on this week's episode, Friday at 8 a.m. Check out last Friday's confessions, like Confessions with a Buddy, Ted Kubitis, and the disappearing URL parameter tool that's being shut down on April 26th. So thanks for adding this to your day. I'll put the links in the description, and I will see you probably not until the weekend. Thanks.